Hi, my name is Solo P1 and welcome to the 2020 F1 German Grand Prix qualifying. It's over. That's what it is. That's what Sky Sports are saying. F1 team. Little midget Johnny Herbert and the rest of the crew. Chapping Paul de Reste. Paul de Reste. They're basically saying it's over. Bottas has got the better of Hamilton, even though Hamilton could have got faster as that before, locking up in certain sectors. That's maybe because he couldn't get a practice 1 and 2. But I'm not making excuses. Bottas has got the psychologically advantage over him, even though Hamilton has won 6 qualifyings in a row. Bottas wins 1 out of 7 qualifying. But Bottas has got the psychologically advantage over him. The psychological advantage. Just like Nico, they were saying that Nico Rosberg was there in the studio. Well, when the studio was outside. And they were saying to Nico Rosberg, oh, look, you had the psychological advantage over Hamilton. What does Bottas have to do? Nico Rosberg started saying, oh yeah, Rosberg, when Hamilton's down, Hamilton goes through a stage where he's down for a couple of races, and that's when you've got to keep him down. And once you keep him down, that's the way of beating Hamilton. Easier said than done. That's why there's only been one guy who's ever done it since Hamilton's been at Mercedes, and that is Nico Rosberg. 8 years Hamilton was at Mercedes. The only person to beat him was Nico Rosberg. And what happened to Nico Rosberg? He's doing commentary at Sky Sports. Enough said. No disrespect to Nico Rosberg, but it's not even Nico Rosberg what was stirring it. Typical Sky Sports bias towards Lewis Hamilton. Typical Johnny Herbert. Johnny Herbert, the wind-up, the little man, the one who's won nothing in his career. No championship, no nothing. But he got to F1. He was there for so long. I can't believe that Johnny Herbert's career in F1. It wasn't even that good. And the way they're talking, he's going on like he's a world champion, that he's won it multiple times. At least Damon Hill. When Damon Hill's there, Damon Hill has got some credibility. He's actually won a world title. Just like David Coulthard, he might not win the title, but he was 1 point away from winning the world title in '99. David Coulthard, the uncrowned hero. David Coulthard, he should have won the world title, and it weren't meant to be. But he was a lot better than Johnny Herbert. Let's just get real. And if you don't agree with me, I don't give a shit anyway. But we all know David Coulthard, he was a lot better driver than Johnny Herbert. Johnny Herbert wasn't that good. If it was today's standards, Johnny Herbert would be in there 2 seasons, then he'd be out of there. That's it. But like I said, it's who you know probably in the Formula 1. Back then, and probably a bit now. But at the end of the day, right, Bottas got pole. I was actually thinking Bottas was probably going to get pole. Actually, at one point, I thought Max Verstappen was going to get pole. At one point. Max Verstappen, he was looking good. For the whole of the tournament. I mean, for the whole of the practice 3. Because we didn't get a practice 1 and 2 yesterday. They were saying on Sky Sports. I'd love to meet the guy who put this on the calendar for October. I'd like to meet him as well. He should be fired. Don't get me wrong, I love this track. I love this track, and I know we're in a pandemic at the moment, and look, we're lucky to have a race here this year. Because most likely, if there wouldn't be a pandemic, this race wasn't even on the calendar. So we're blessed to have this legendary track. Rather it than Nordschleife, but we've got it anyway. But in October, this place rains 90% of the year anyway. 90% of the year, this track rains. And in October, it's just going to continue to rain. Tomorrow, we're going to have a wet race. That's good for us. That's good for the spectators. But I'm just saying, tomorrow's going to be a wet race. So there's no point of moaning on the TV. There's like, oh yeah, we shouldn't have done it. It's done. Practice 1 and 2, it never happened. The guy I felt sorry for, really, was Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher, the son of the legendary F1 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher. It was his first test in a Formula 1 car on national television. He'd probably done tests before, wasn't televised. But this one was televised. It was in Germany, his home country of Germany. Michael Schumacher is a king here. Mick Schumacher come here, couldn't get a test. Me, I would have got him testing today. I don't give a shit. Look, Antonio Giovinazzi ain't going to get nowhere. I'll put Antonio Giovinazzi in at Alfa Romeo and Mick Schumacher now, without the setup, in at Alfa Romeo, and I'll put my money on Mick Schumacher. Just get Antonio Giovinazzi and just move him on now. We all know he's not going to be there next season. No way there's no way he's going to be there next season. It's never going to happen. It's going to be Mick Schumacher in that car along with Kimi Räikkönen. Done. Deal's done. They're not coming out on the TV and saying anything, but the deal is done. Let's face it. So there's no point. Look, this is what I don't get it. Alfa Romeo, yeah, Alfa Tour, whatever you want to call them, Alfa Romeo, they're at the bottom, right? They haven't won a race. They ain't got no points, are they? I don't think they got a point at all on the board. If they have, probably got 1 point. So I can't see the problem of just taking Antonio out for the whole weekend and sticking Mick Schumacher in the car. What's going to do? It's not going to do no harm. They're at the back anyway. They've got no points anyway. They're not going to lose nothing. So what's the point of just coming out and doing one test? I never got that. I'd understand if they was fighting for the championship or fighting for mid-table. They're fighting to stay off the bottom. So bringing Mick Schumacher in, I just can't see a problem. I can't see a problem. But that's Alfa Romeo. That's the way they work. Yeah, whole of the weekend, we've had rain, this, negativity on the TV. But it has been negative. We've had Bottas moving up slowly. Listen, my pick for this qualifying, the way it was going, after practice 3, was Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen was my pick to get the fastest in practice 3. Because he was looking good. This car suits Max Verstappen. It suits their car. The slow corners, the little bends, it suits a Red Bull car. And they were looking good. We all know on the power tracks it doesn't suit Red Bull. It doesn't suit him at all, but this track, it suits Red Bull. And Max Verstappen, it was evident at the end of practice 3, the speed he was showing. And he was my pick to get qualifying. It would have been nice to have him P1. I would have loved to have Nico Hülkenberg P2. I would have loved to have Ricciardo P3. Instead of seeing Mercedes again, 1, 2, and then a Red Bull. It's never going to change. Look. I don't care if you don't agree with me, yeah? When I speak, you listen. And at the end of the day, 1 and 2 Mercedes, 3 Red Bull. That's all it's going to be for the rest of the season. So in a way, should we watch it? All right, look, the races are cool. When it comes to the race, 99.9% of the chance, it's going to be Mercedes 1 and 2 or Max Verstappen 3rd. Maybe give or take if one of them messed up the lap or one of them get a penalty, a questionable penalty, like it was 2 weeks ago, Lewis Hamilton, maybe Max Verstappen will sneak it then. But listen, all it's going to be, this is going to be the worst F1 season. I thought when they started bringing the season into play, when we found out we was going to get a season because of this pandemic, I thought, you know what? This is going to be an interesting season. They might have a reverse grid, they might not. It's going to be, we don't know where they're racing. They're going to tracks that there's never been before. It's going to be a good one. It is going to be good. But no, what are we getting? The same shit. No wonder they're changing the regulations. No wonder they're bringing the cap down, the spending cap. They need to bring that spending cap right down so we can have more manufacturers coming to F1. Toyota, BMW, Cosworth, the Ford. More engine manufacturers coming in to F1. More car manufacturers coming into F1. Because they know the car manufacturers, Toyota ain't going to build an engine for F1. They know when they're coming to F1 what's going to happen. What's going to happen? They know what's going to happen. We're going to have the same shit. Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, this, that. Why would they come into F1 and know that's going to happen and lose money? Look at Honda. Everybody thought when Honda came back into F1, I called it. Go back on all my videos. I said it from day one. Honda is not going to win nothing. It's not 1988 when you had Senna versus Frost in the Honda days when I was dominating F1. Them days are gone. Well and truly buried in history. Honda are never going to get back that time again. Never. Not while Mercedes is there. No chance. The only team I can see at the moment that's adapting and starting to move up. 2 teams, one of them I never thought I heard myself saying it, is Renault and McLaren. McLaren is coming back. Crafty said today, and Martin Brundle, that car looks like, that McLaren car looks like a Mercedes on the corners. I wouldn't be surprised next year if you're going to see the McLaren car with the DAS system. The DAS system, I can see that coming. You're going to have the McLaren with their version of the DAS system. Then you're going to get Ferrari protesting. Then you're going to get Red Bull protesting. Then you're going to get Renault protesting. And they'll probably take it out the season after that when the new regulations kick in. I can see that happening. But I could definitely see McLaren. I thought, look, at the beginning of the season, I said it, and I was wrong. I still could be right. But at the beginning of the season, I said, there's only one team what's going to beat Mercedes. When it comes to the new regulations, or whenever they're coming in the 2021 regulations, the next team who's non-Mercedes is going to win the world title is going to be Ferrari. I've changed my mind. I think it's going to be McLaren. Maybe Renault, but I think McLaren is heading in that right way. Look how good the McLaren looks now. They're going to have the Mercedes engine next year. They might have the DAS system. McLaren is the team looking up. It is the team looking up in F1 after Mercedes. Ferrari, we don't know where they are at the moment. The new regulation might come and they might be even worse. Where was Vettel today? Nowhere to be seen. Vettel, he does not give a crap about Ferrari. He just wants to go home and smoke a spliff. He wants to go home, crack open that German beer, crack open a spliff and bun it on his pipe. That's all he wants to do, Vettel. He does not want to be there. He's only there because he's contracted to be there. If he had a choice, if he could go home, still get paid, he'll be off. Get out of that dog shit political team. The biggest political team in the history of F1 is Ferrari. And if you don't like it, suck my balls. When I speak, you listen. Or shut the fuck up. Leave the comments below. And it'll be okay. But anyway. Charles Leclerc. And look at Vettel. Charles Leclerc gets four fastest. And Vettel comes out of Q2. Don't tell me about, it's his mojo's gone. That's what's going around. His mojo. Oh, my mojo, my mojo, my mojo. Forget the mojo. His mojo ain't gone. What's happened is when the Ferrari knew that Vettel wasn't going to be there at the end of the season, he's going to be going to whenever he's going. I reckon they knew at the beginning of the season that he was going to Aston Martin. It was a given. It's just we never knew that us, the people who watch it. But as soon as Ferrari let him go and they said, we're not renewing your contract, the engineers stopped sending messages from each other, stopped giving him information, stopped giving him the new stuff. Basically, Charles Leclerc is the main driver. He's signed the 5-year contract. He's the one who's going to be going off with all the new stuff, new upgrades, everything. Vettel's going to be getting all the shit. He'll probably be getting the old engine from 2 years ago. But Charles Leclerc is getting all the new stuff. And this is why Charles Leclerc is in front. There's no way Vettel's lost his mojo. That is horseshit. That's some gimmick. That's some gimmick that the Sky Sports F1 team has put it on Sky. Oh, he's lost his mojo. His mojo's still there. You're going to see his mojo when he goes to Aston Martin. The British team, Aston Martin. Then you're going to see Wagwan. And that's my opinion. I don't care what anybody says. He had lost his mojo. Vettel still got it. Vettel still can win the championship. When he goes to, if he goes to Aston Martin and Aston Martin is competitive like we think they are, he's still going to be getting podiums. He's going to be there getting podiums and he can still do it. He needs a new start. He needs to get out of that political team. That political Ferrari, he needs to leave that team. And that's it. But that was it. Look, Bottas got pole. Good for him. Do I care? No. Do I think Lewis Hamilton's going to win the race tomorrow? Yes. Do I think Max Verstappen could win the race tomorrow? Yes. It's a different corner. Look, the straight, usually when you get a race at start, they come bombing down the straight and then they hit that corner, hit the brake and turn. It's different with the Nürburgring. The straight's not that long, and when they do hit the straight, when they hit the first corner, yeah, it's a very slow, bendy corner. It's not one of them where you can just bomb it down and hit the brake and turn quick. So you got to be careful. A lot of the crashes at the beginning of the race are there. It's a very tricky corner. And there's nothing between Bottas and Hamilton. All it takes is Hamilton to get a good start. You got Bottas coming out giving speeches and speeches and speeches. Nobody cares. Stop giving speeches. You're not a preacher. Let it go. You just throw to Bottas 3.0. You're the same Bottas as you was last year. You're the same Bottas as you was there the year before. Stop giving preaches. Stop giving speeches about positivity, negativity, all that. People don't know what's inside there. That's what he was saying when he was getting interviewed at the end of the qualifying. Nobody knows what's in there. Nobody gives a shit what's in there. Let's face it, Bottas. Nobody gives a shit what's inside there. Stop preaching to us like you're just a new person. You're the same Bottas. Maybe because you got your new wife. You got your new, not wife, girlfriend, whether she's some professional cycler. I've never heard of her. Don't really give a shit about her. So he's got his new missus coming out. He's got his new missus. She's probably feeding the information in his head and saying, oh, you've got to say this, you've got to say that. Because Bottas seems like the person who's just going to listen to what anybody tells him anyway. He's coming out and saying, oh, yeah, I'm a new person. Oh, this whole positivity. For all you, this concerns, F you. Nobody gives a shit what you got to say. Because we all know tomorrow, if Hamilton gets in that first corner, your negativity, positivity, it all goes out the window. Hamilton again, winner. There you go. It doesn't matter if you get pole. First pole, seven qualifying, yeah? There's been 7 qualifying, and that's the first pole in 7 qualifying, and you got the Sky commentators telling him and telling all of us outside, oh yeah, this is it now. He's got the better of Hamilton. He wins one race because Hamilton got multiple penalties, and he wins a qualifying, the first qualifying in 7 races that he got pole. And he's this new person. Nah. You're not a new person. You still Valtteri Bottas. Done. So we've got Nico Rosberg. Look, we're going to get into this practice session. There was no practice session yesterday. I'm going to talk briefly about the practice session after I've had my coffee. And the commentary, and Paul di Resta, Nico Rosberg, and Crofty, as always. Doing this. That's all you heard, Crofty. Crofty laughs at everything. Even when he's not even cracking a joke. That's all he does. That's too much drink from the night before, and he's coming into work, hungover, still drunk, and he's going, that's all he does. So you're Crofty, Paul di Resta. It's funny now, this is another thing. When you got Paul di Resta with Nico Rosberg, Paul di Resta's chappers, his shark chappers, boom, quiet. You don't hear him talk. He talks a little bit because he knows he's out of his element. Because he knows he's sitting next to a world champion, 2016 world champion, Nico Rosberg, and he knows he can't open his mouth. He knows he can't say the stuff like he did before because he might get embarrassed on TV. So what, he can't shut his mouth. He ain't got personality, by the way. As soon as you start talking about the real world, outside of motorsports, and you start talking about real stuff, Paul di Resta is lost. He only could talk about stuff when he's talking about the racing. So you got Max Engineer. This is in practice 3. I didn't even catch the beginning of practice 3, to be fair. I was in bed. I was still chilling, I thought to myself, you know what, when I woke up early this morning, I thought to myself, you know what, it's not even going to be a practice. I was going to go back to bed. I've been working all week. I'm going to sit on my bed. I was going to relax, and that's what I did. So I caught it there was about 40 minutes left. Yeah, I put the TV on, put it on, had my notes all ready, on my iPad chilling, getting all my notes ready. And then Max Verstappen's engineer said, you just said you seen Gasly, Max, and he said, yeah, I overtook him. He fucked my lap, and he nearly fucked my lap. And he says, and there's his engineer. Fair play. So basically, he was supposed to be dangerous on the track. He passing Gasly. He come on the mic and said he fucked my lap, and his engineer says fair play. And then Rosberg says no, it isn't fair play. Basically saying, you're dangerous, don't be like that. And that was at the beginning. And I thought, yeah, you know what? Good for you, Rosberg, saying that. Because the other clown in the corner, Paul di Resta, he never said nothing, as usual when you're there. Crafty was going, like he always does, like a clown. A complete moron. Grade A, right off the meat rack. Goon. Moron. So basically, we had the rumours. Look, the rumours were coming around about Nico Hülkenberg. I thought Nico Hülkenberg is at home. He's in Germany. There was rumours he was in Germany. He was probably in his bar. Probably got a few bars lined up in Germany. Probably drinking that German beer, getting high out of his head. on beer, and then the next morning he's getting a phone call at 11 o'clock in the morning saying you need to come, you got to drive an F1. He must have been thinking, what is going on? Lance Stroll suddenly feels sick. We don't know what's going on with Lance Stroll. A lot of people on Twitter are saying it's COVID. We don't know if it's COVID. We don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden he's sick. He can't make the grade. He can't make the race. He can't make the weekend. He's off home. He's going to go somewhere. I don't know where he's going to go back to Canada, wherever he lives, California, wherever he lives. Don't know where he lives. But they need to bring in Nico Hülkenberg. Nico Hülkenberg is leaving his house, which hour drive. He's driving his car. He brought off Keke Rosberg. Keke Rosberg sold him a Porsche 911, a black Porsche 911, but he sprayed it silver, right? He put on Twitter, Nico Hülkenberg put on Twitter that his car was in the garage. I mean, in the car park. Say, I've just arrived. So the rumours are going around on Twitter saying he's going to be driving. Obviously, he's all Akmar running towards the exit doors like a madman, going to his BMW, running towards the exit, thinking, "What the hell's going on?" Look like a crazy man. Yeah, the commentator, he had Nico Rosberg and said, "Look, that's my dad's car. My dad sold him that car a couple of weeks ago. That's my dad's car. Trust me, I know my dad's car. I sold it him. But what he did, he's painted it silver." So the rumours are going around. Obviously, Nico Hülkenberg was there then. They didn't confirm it. Typical TV. They know he's there, but they're not going to confirm it yet until they get the okay. That's just the way TV works. But we all knew. We got social media. We don't need these clowns on Sky Sports to tell us anything. We got social media. We got a platform. We know what's going on. We don't even need these idiots to tell us anything. Nico Hülkenberg said himself, "I've arrived." So that's all the evidence we needed. We didn't need no more evidence. We didn't need the evidence of the clown Paul de Resta. And we definitely didn't need the evidence of Simon Lazenby, another clown, the biggest clown in F1. Sky Sports team, Simon Lazenby. So basically, he's going around saying, look, rumours going around. Then basically, they went back to the track. Lewis was locking up in Sector 1 in the first turn. Every driver was locking up in that first sector. Lewis Hamilton was just testing the grip. A lot of the commentators are saying, look, these cars might not be ready for this track. And I thought, huh? What do you mean not be ready? It's an F1 track. And they said, guys, oh yeah, but it's a hybrid era. But it don't matter. Obviously, the track was tested. They're not just going to come to any old park and say, look, we're going to have an F1 drive here this weekend. Obviously, it was tested by the stewards, tested by the FIA. They're not going to just say, yeah, we're just going to drive there. It was tested. It's a great track. The GT cars here, I know the GT cars are different, but it's a racing track and it's Formula 1 ready. Put it this way, clowns, it's more Formula 1 ready than Monaco. Monaco should be struck off the list, and if you don't like it, I don't give a shit. Monaco should be off the calendar. There should be no Monaco. This track should replace Monaco. This track is the Nordschleife, which I wish it was there, because even Max Verstappen, he was getting interviewed, and Max Verstappen said, you know what, I'd love it to be at the Nordschleife. Trust me, all the true racing fans would love to be at the Nordschleife. The Nordschleife is the greatest track in the world. It's the most demanding track in the world. 130 plus corners. Trust me. And then Martin Brundle was saying, look, we're never going to have it there. We need more cameras. We need more lighting. We need more staff. Employ the staff. I'm sure you're going to get some German marks on the street that you can pull off the street from the local shop and get them to be stewards. I'm sure you just walked on the street and said, look, you want to be a steward for the Formula 1? Not going to be paid, though. You can come and watch the races. I'm sure they're going to say, yeah. So don't tell me that you can't get the steward. And don't tell me that you can't get the staff and the cameras. It's Formula 1. How rich is this business? Don't tell me that Sky Sports F1 can't get the cameras. Or they all can't put together and say, look, we're going to get the cameras to be at the Nordschleife. It's just pure laziness. If the drivers want it, why can't you do it? Most of the drivers, probably all of the drivers would love to race at Nordschleife. Why don't you do it? Why can't you do it? Instead of making excuses about this stuff, like I said, drag some poor. You could get a tramp off the street in Germany. Pull a tramp off the street in Germany and say, look, you like racing? Yes. Do you want to be a steward for the weekend? Yes. That's it. Give him a mask, give him a test, throw him in there. Done. That's all you need. That's all you need. So basically, Lewis has gone off topic now, it's one of them, innit? Basically, Lewis is using his DAS system, starts pulling the DAS system. At one time, I thought Lewis was going to pull the wheel off the car. He starts doing this with the DAS system. chill out, man. You only have to pull it once. Once, that's it. And he starts doing that with the DAS system, trying to get some heat at the tyres. Paul the rest is saying, you reckon there's a problem? Rosberg says no. He says, it could be that what it is, he's trying to get more heat into the tyres, so we both to be pulling it. And there's Crofty. You reckon there's a problem with the car? And there's Rosberg. Nah, I don't think so. Trying to get some information out of Rosberg. But Rosberg's a Mercedes man. He knows how this media works. He's worked in media for years. He knows how these Sky Sports commentators are. He hated them when he used to get interviewed in his day, especially in 2015 and 2016. Rosberg hated them. He hated them. At one point, the Marks couldn't even interview Rosberg properly, and Rosberg started interviewing himself at one point. I remember YouTube, there's a clip somewhere. Just type in Rosberg interviewing himself, F1 Sky Sports, and it will come up. So the clowns couldn't even do that right. So I know Rosberg, obviously, they paid him a lot of money, so he's just towing the line. But he knows the game, he knows what they're like, he knows the journey, he's very crafty. That's the job, isn't it? So basically, Lewis was using the DAS system, pushing up and down. Grosjean come on the radio and says, I love this track. Roman Grosjean, he knows that he's not going to be there next season. He knows he's probably planning his next move. You won't be surprised if you see Roman. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Roman Grosjean. If you see Roman Grosjean in Formula E. Where Van Door's gone, stuff for Van Door. I wouldn't be surprised. He knows he's not going to be there next season. He knows him and Magnussen, the two clowns, the two biggest clowns in Formula 1, along with Antonio Giovinazzi, are going to be out of F1. They know it. So he's coming out, sounded like he had a few drinks the other night, happy as ever, and saying, you know what? I love this track. Roman Grosjean come out and says, I love this track. This track is beautiful. Beautiful, this track is. Lando was on a flyer. He definitely had his Weetabix last night. Lando was on a flyer, flying around the track. Lost. He got the fastest time. This is during the practice free. Not the whole of the practice free, but during this time. This was like 20 minutes towards the end. He was on a flyer, and he had the last sector. He slipped onto the gravel, but he still got the fastest time. If he would have went onto the gravel, it's obviously his time would have been faster. So McLaren was looking good. Apart from that little mistake that he done, McLaren was looking good. Fair play to him. Lando, that car is absolutely amazing. That car is definitely going to be... I think he's going to be challenging Red Bull next year, the McLaren. No doubt about it. Sector 3, a little bit on the curb, like I said. Lewis went on a flyer and he cut the chicane. So this is the multiple times it was happening through practice. He was going on flying laps. He even went over the cane, went under the curb, went over the curb, went onto the grass. He kept missing his mark. But right at the end of right at the end of practice, he was on a one big flyer. And who spun? Who spun like a spun top? No, not Roman Grosjean. Another client. The guy who's going to take Roman Grosjean's mantle. Yes, Nicholas Latifi Williams. Again, spun. Compromised Hamilton's lap. Hamilton had to slow down. He was getting fast as one. This is what I think. I think is Lewis Hamilton would have had the perfect weekend. I reckon he would have got pole. But obviously, it's the same for everybody. He didn't get pole. Lewis Hamilton's the kind of guy who needs to get the whole practice in and the whole qualifying. Bottas can do a couple of practices here and there and still be good. But Hamilton, he likes to build and build and build. That's what he's like. He's like a perfectionist. And I think with Bottas, he's more like, get out in the car and go. That's my opinion. So, we're going into qualifying now. At the end, Antonio, the Italian stallion, out. Q2 comes in. Look, at the end of Q1, it was the same people. Grosjean, Russell, Latifi, Raikkonen, Hülkenberg. You can't expect Nico Hülkenberg to have a 2-hour notice window come in. It's not his setup. It's Lance Stroll's setup. Oh, look, he drove the car once before that was Silverstone back-to-back. He had more preparation there, especially in the second race, but he had no preparation. He didn't even know he was going to be driving today, let's face it. Look, all fun aside with what I was saying before, but look, at the end of the day, right, he didn't have enough time. He came in, he done his best, and he didn't go through. Nobody expected him to go through. He come plumb last right at the back. Q2 started, Max got fastest tyre. He had the soft tyres, chilled. Commentators were saying Max fast times, and basically he was the measuring stick. At this point, when he got the end of Q2, I thought Max was going to get the fastest. Bottas was missed his mark on the first stint. He come out again at the end of Q1, and he had a slot. His tyres, obviously, his first stint in Q2, he had his fresh soft tyres on, and then obviously he messed up his lap, so we had to go again. So when he went on his second flying lap, he couldn't make it because at the end of the day, his tyres weren't as grippy, but he still made it into the top three. Hamilton, it was at the end. Hamilton was second, Hamilton was third, Figgy was second, Bottas, and first was Max Verstappen. They got the fastest. At the end of Q2, the ones that came out at the end of Q2 was the same casualties. You had Gasly was out, Fiat, Giovinazzi, and Magnussen, and Ocon. And Hamilton, Verstappen, and Bottas, they're the ones that went through at the time. It was Hamilton, then Verstappen, and Bottas, they're the ones that went through. So Q3 started, Max came out, done the fastest lap, nailed it, and I thought, here we go, he's got it. He's got it. Max has got it. There's no question about it. I thought Max has got this. I was sitting there, I said to him, I go, you know what? Max has got it. And you know what? I ain't gonna care either, because at the end of the day it's someone else apart from the Mercedes 1 and 2. Max come out and got it. Boom. Like I said, but I'd rather someone like a Renault driver to do it. Someone different. It could be any Renault driver. I would have been happy if Roman Grosjean would have got it. We know that ain't gonna happen really, are it? Not really. But I thought that, you know what, if Roman Grosjean gets it, I'll be happy with that. Anyone but the same top three week in, week out. Week in, week out, week in, week out. Mercedes and Red Bull. But it didn't work out that way. Bottas come out, eked it out. He put the pedal to the metal. He put the wheel where it's supposed to. And he got pole. Fair play to Valtteri Bottas. He got pole. Hamilton come out and said, look, at the end of the day, right, we've got more work to do tomorrow. Then the commentators are trying to jibe him again like they always do. Oh, he's going to get inside his head. He's inside his head. Okay. How is he going to get inside his head? How has Bottas got inside Hamilton's head? Explain to me how Bottas has got in Hamilton's head. The seven poles, there've been 7 qualifying. Hamilton's got 6 out of the 7 qualifying. How does that work out that Bottas is in his head? Okay. So, we're going to get onto the standings. Have it finished? Let's bring this round. We're going to do the interviews in a minute, like the top 3. Let's do the standings. Right. German Grand Prix. Qualifying results. We have Bottas on pole, 2nd Lewis Hamilton, 3rd Max Verstappen, 4th Charles Leclerc, very good time by him. 5th place Albon. Okay. 6th place Daniel Ricciardo, 7th place Esteban Ocon, 8th place Lando Norris, 9th place Sergio Perez, 10th place Carlos Sainz, 11th place Sebastian Vettel, 12th place Pierre Gasly, 13th place Daniel Fiat, 14th place Antonio Giovinazzi, 15th place Kevin Magnussen, 16th place Roman Grosjean, 17th place George Russell, 18th place Nicholas Latifi, 19th place Kimi Raikkonen, and 20th place Nico Hülkenberg. And that's how it ended. And let's have a look at the top 3 if we've got any interviews. Let's have a look at the top 3. You know what? Let's get Nico Hülkenberg and see what he says. He says, Nico Hülkenberg, he said he had a heart attack after Racing Point replacement call. I would have a heart attack as well. He's like I said last night, he could have been on his couch, sipping the German beer, relaxing. He lives an hour away in the car, hour drive, probably chilling, probably thought, yeah, I'm good. And all of a sudden, 2 hours before you're supposed to get in the car, he gets a call. So he takes him an hour to get here, then he gets here, he's got an hour left before the qualifying starts. Yeah, I would be as well.
Hello guys, I'm Tiago.
No, we don't care about you, mate. Right, let's get this video on. No, I've got rid of the adverts, and let's do this.
Considering I had a heart attack about 11 a.m.
happened today?
Yeah, I feel good considering I had a heart attack about 11 a.m. I'm actually alright and alive.
How do you feel about the time that you got, given you only had a handful of laps?
I feel quite positive and good about it, to be honest. Also had a bunch of fun out there. It is a fantastic track after all. I'm very happy to be here again, and especially in a Formula 1 car. Obviously, it was going to be super difficult to get something or a really good result out of this. I have to say the car has evolved quite a bit. There's a couple of really technical things that are different, so I had to kind of find my feet again. Find my rhythm, which obviously in that short amount of time is very tough. So I'm happy with those 4 laps, despite, even though if it's last, that's unfortunate. But I think the gap to the main field was not that big.
How excited are you about tomorrow?
Yeah, excited and a bit like you know, wary. Concerned is the wrong word, but obviously it's going to be a massive job on our hands. I mean, I'm just going to get into the usual race prep, you know, do what we can with the given time, and we'll just have to get on with it tomorrow.
Show the positive attitude. Look, the guy's got nothing to lose. Okay, the guy's got nothing to lose. He's gonna come in tomorrow, and whatever he does, it's a bonus. So it's gonna be a bonus. So we have Max Verstappen. He said the guy in third place. We got Max Verstappen said happy as Red Bull challenged Mercedes at the German Grand Prix. Adverts. Give me 1 second to sort these out.
How are you feeling after provisionally having pole and obviously just losing out just at the end?
Lovely. No, it's good. It was a good day. I think, you know, with the new parts on the car, everything was working quite smooth. Of course, always a few things you want to do better, but you know, we were the closest we've ever been to them, so we can be happy about that. Of course, tomorrow is going to be a big question mark, but it's the same for everyone. So we'll just get on with it and just have to be alert, you know, throughout the whole race to see what the best strategy is and yeah, how the tires are going to behave.
Do you think you can take the fight to Mercedes?
It's always difficult to say, but if I see the opportunity, of course, I'll go for it.
Spoken like a true racer. So we're gonna have where's Bottas? Where is he? We'll go Bottas. I'll go Lewis. Lewis first, then Bottas. Lewis says we don't have to get them all. True? Oh. Adverts. You can't win them all. You can't win them all. You can't win every race. You can't win every pole. That's it. That's the way it is. Not Superman. Me, I think he's the black Superman. The way he pulls that car sometimes. But at the end of the day, you can't win them all.
Standard, so if second often isn't good enough, how do you feel today?
I feel okay. You know, Valtteri did a great job, so happy for him. And Max was really close today, so I think they've made a good step forward. This is going to be a real challenge tomorrow, for sure. But I'm okay. I don't really know what happened in Q3, so I'm just, in my mind, I'm just curious as to what led us to lose a little bit of pace. But you know, you don't have to get them all, so I'm pretty chill.
I bet you're quite keen to go and talk to the engineers, maybe dig a little deeper. But how do you feel about tomorrow? It's going to be quite unpredictable, maybe into the unknown because of the lack of practice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's makes it exciting, having that lack of practice, and makes it more of a challenge. I think the Red Bulls have closed their gap, so they could be faster than us tomorrow. Who knows? And with it being this cold, it's going to have an effect on the tyres that we currently don't know. So, again, makes it exciting.
How are you feeling, given what's happened?
So, but being positive as always, Lewis Hamilton. At the end of the day, you can't win them all. You can't win them all. Races, I think he'll win tomorrow. Just my opinion. I reckon he'll get in that first corner, and I think he'll do Bottas, and that'll be all game over. I think Max Verstappen could get in the mix as well. Definitely Max. Not necessarily Max is going to get third place. He could get a second, but I think Hamilton's going to win tomorrow. Just my opinion. My opinion. So we've got Valtteri Bottas, a good feeling to get pole. Adverts again. Sort that out.
What a lap.
Thanks.
Pleased with that?
Yeah, it was a good lap, of course, and I finally got the sector 1 right as well, because it was an area I was losing a bit to Lewis, so I need to fix that. I need to gain a bit of time there. So, and then yeah, it's a great track, and it's a good feeling to get the pole on the final attempt.
Yesterday you were talking about wanting to be efficient today because of the lack of time. Were you efficient today? Did the car kind of evolve as quickly as you'd hoped it would?
I really felt we made most out of it. Of course, 1 hour is a short time to gather information for both short and long runs, but it's always going to be a compromise on what things you focus. But I think, of course, we'll find out tomorrow, but at least for today it worked well, and I kind of like the feeling that there's quite a few question marks for tomorrow in terms of how the tires are going to behave, etc.
How are you feeling about tomorrow? It looks like the rain's kind of moved away and it's going to be a bit colder, but how do you feel?
I don't mind. I don't mind cold. It's okay. And just, yeah, like I said, there's quite a few question marks on the tires, how they're going to behave. But otherwise, yeah, I feel good for tomorrow and look forward to it.
So he's looking forward to it. It's going to be a good race tomorrow. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave you now. I'm going to leave the onboard lap. And yeah, I'm going to leave the onboard lap with, you know what, let's have two more interviews. Let's have the two Ferrari guys. Let's have Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc. Let's have Charles Leclerc here. Wasn't expecting, brilliant P4. It was a good P4.
Charles, P4, were you expecting that?
No, I wasn't. I definitely wasn't. So very happy about the result today. I think, yeah, we took the maximum out of the situation. No free practice 1 and 2 yesterday. And yeah, only 1 free practice and straight to quali, which I quite enjoyed as a driver, because normally in FP1, then FP2, then FP3, lots of drivers has the time to look at the data and adapt to the track. But now it was, yeah, it was just better. I quite liked it.
I appreciate that you've got new updates on the car tomorrow, and when you've qualified well earlier this season, you've dropped back in the race. What are you kind of expecting tomorrow?
I don't really know. I think all of us drivers are going a bit into the unknown tomorrow, which is what is making this race very interesting. We don't have any long runs yet, so we'll discover a little bit how the car is handling tomorrow during the race, which will be exciting.
How are you feeling, given what's happened today?
Yeah, fair play to him. We're going to have Vettel. Thinks tyre choice at German Grand Prix can be an advantage. So he's still showing positivity. He's still showing positivity, Vettel, after all the crap he's gone through. He's still showing positivity. And yeah, and this is going to be the last interview. After this interview, we're going to put on Valtteri Bottas' onboard lap, and that will be the end of this review. Let's just get Vettel on there. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video as well.
At least from the outside, the car looked all right this morning, but it didn't look as good in the afternoon. Is that fair enough?
Well, it was very similar. So for me, it was very similar. I struggled a lot in Sector 1. I just didn't have more grip than what I could extract. So other than that, it was okay. I think the last lap was pretty good, and not that much left on the table for me, at least.
How did the car feel with the new updates?
I only had the upgrades in the afternoon, so a bit hard to say, but not a big difference, which is also what we expected.
With unpredictable conditions tomorrow, are you still optimistic you can claw something back?
We see. We have the choice to start on a different set, but we'll see what we do. Hopefully it turns out to be an advantage one way or the other.
So Vettel just going with it and waiting for the season to finish. So we're going to have Valtteri Bottas' onboard lap. I'm going to leave you now, guys, if I can get it. Yeah, this is Valtteri Bottas' onboard lap. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. It'll help me out a lot. It would help me out a lot with my YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. And enjoy the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you did enjoy the video. I hope I made it entertaining for you guys. But anyway, whatever you hear out of my mouth is the 100% truth. No fake here. So now I'm going to disappear. And this is Valtteri Bottas' onboard pole lap. The German Grand Prix 2020.
Good job, man. P1, baby. P1.
Oh, yes.